We're talking about Exodus, gods and kings. Now, we all know the story of the two Egyptian princes, Ramses, played here by Joel Edgerton, and Moses, played by Christian Bale. Now, they were close as brothers. They played together. They went to battle together. You know, Moses saved his ass a couple of times. You know, they were tight. But as soon as Ramses learns that Moses is Hebrew, you know, he has Hebrew heritage, he says, hey, look, bro, I love you and everything, but you know how people feel about Jews around here.
Well, let's not also, before that was the oracle with the prophecy, like, whoever saves the other person is going to be the king.
Ramses said, hey, but look, it's cool, Moses, it's cool. I'm just going to banish you to the desert and keep beating the shit out these slaves.
Well, Moses does pull that trip like, well, now it turns out that I'm Jewish. I want you to let all the Jews free.
Ramses is ready to take Moses back. He's like, shit, bro, that was my mama, man. That wasn't me. You know, it's cool. It's cool. Come on, man. Let's get a drink. They up there drinking. Hey, it's good to be back, Ramses, man. You know, also God told me, this is crazy, man, but he said, yeah, you got to let those slaves free. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Out. And put my shit down. Don't even drink my shit. Give me my shit back. Get the fuck out of here. So Moses goes back out in the wilderness and God says, you know what? Go back and tell that motherfucker I said free them slaves. Right. You tell him God said free them fucking slaves.
Why are you told him?
Go and tell him again. And if he don't want to do it with his arrogant ass, you tell him that's fine. I got a whole box of plagues I just been waiting to use for a long time. Now tell him to keep fucking around. You can kind of guess what else happens after that. A lot of people saying, okay, that's cool and everything. You know, I've heard the story. I heard the story over and over again. But how is this? All the special effects and everything. Is this truly epic? Is the money behind it? Out of all the Bible, the 10 Commandments, that was the summer blockbuster of the Bible.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's plenty of other things in there.
The 10 Commandments and Moses, that was the Avengers of the Bible, you know? And Moses was like Jay-Z, you know? He was like superstar, you know? It was one of those things where if you don't have at least 120 mil, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, truly.
And it's Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott don't do nothing small these days. He's like, shit, I'm a fucking legend. You damn right you can give me that money. And plus, this is biblical too. You know them Christians gonna turn out for this. It's amazing what they can do right now with this. And there's a lot of thrilling scenes in here. I mean, that is why the 10 Commandments makes such a great movie, because the plagues, the frogs, the insects, you know,
the pestilence,
the pestilence. I mean, and the way they explain it in here, I mean, they go out of their way to make to not make the plagues cool. They make the plagues badass.
Yeah, they make them badass and almost attempt to give you a scientific explanation for it.
You say, okay, what's the difference between cool and badass? One word: alligators.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they made the plagues action-packed. Like, that dude, that's your ass right there, man.
Well, it's almost like these ancient crocodiles. Like, they were like, why do sharks get all the press? Because we badasses too.
We badass too, yeah. Shit, it's like, and it's like the crocodiles just got mad about it. Like, shit, let's show these motherfuckers what we got for no reason. They just went Ferguson on people. They just start rioting. I mean, they just attacked a boat. They start tearing up shops and shit. Shit, I saw an alligator running by with a TV and shit. It was
through a garbage can, through a pizza place.
Through a pizzeria. There's a scene where alligators just attack for no fucking reason, and it's insane, man. That's what starts off the plagues. I mean, they blooded the water. The alligators eat each other.
The disease comes. The flies come to eat the dead bodies. The frogs come to eat the flies.
And the neck bone's connected to your fucked bone. You know?
Right. And the locusts just say like, well, shit, there's like a party going on over here.
Shit, they throwing down there. Let's go. But God is there. Make no mistake about that. In fact, God in this movie is a little old bratty little boy.
Which is how God is written pretty much in the Old Testament.
And I wish I had a scene with that little boy. They gave me no clips. But
that's too bad, because he's really good.
There's a kid in this movie who plays God, and I believe it. I was like, a kid has to be God to be that good, because that kid don't even act like a boy. He acts like a man.
But it is one of those things where, you know, you say like, well, God is there, but whenever we see Moses talking to God, whenever somebody else sees Moses talking to God, they see Moses talking to himself. So there's still that doubt of like, Is this motherfucker just crazy?
Aaron Paul's in this movie, and Aaron Paul's always peeking up behind a rock. Almost every scene he has with Christian Bale, like, this motherfucker's crazy.
He's going, what the fuck? Yeah. But rather than go tell everybody, he's like, well, he's getting shit done.
He's getting shit done, yeah. He's like, hey, this motherfucker's roaming around the dark, mumbling to himself and shit. But hey, you know what? Hey, he's doing something. It gets to a point where it's no doubt that God is there, but they never make it like God is talking to Moses. You know, Moses, go and fuck with Ramses. You know, it's nothing like that. It's actually, it seems like God is actually speaking through nature. And that's a cool aspect to this movie. There's a lot of action in this film. There's a scene on a cliff.
Oh yeah,
it's almost like a crazy chariot race. It is intense because they're just riding the edge of that cliff the whole time. It's exciting stuff right here. I mean, it works very well as an action movie too. But the reason why I feel like none of this is all that great is because it lacks emotion, man. For me, there's not a whole lot there besides the spectacle, man. There's you hear me always arguing for subtlety, but in this case, it's just a little too subdued. And I feel like I compare this to something like Charlton Heston's The Ten Commandments. Yeah. There was real passion in that acting there. Yeah. And this one is more like Moses, don't tell your brother.
Well, yeah, it's the way Joel Edgerton, plays his Ramses versus Yul Brynner. And he couldn't do it the Yul Brynner way.
Joel Edgerton is my favorite actor in this movie. And the reason why I think they cast him is because he had echoes of Yul Brynner, man. And this one is a little more sympathetic. This one's a little more human.
How do you know Moses?
You know how I know him?
So you're not his sister then?
Of course not.
Place your arm on the table.
Ramesses, don't take this any further.
Don't take this any further? What?
Do not take this any further.
Are you quite sure about that? Get your hand off it or use it.
Ramsey's is like, you want to get into some gangster shit right now? You know what I'm saying?
Right. You want some of this?
Yeah, we can do this like brothers. We can get into some real gangster shit right now.
I can tell you that I was never bored in it. Matter of fact, not only was I not bored, when I sat down, I instantly it started coming on. I was like, oh shit, I gotta pee. And I could never find a spot.
And you sat there, tied your dick in a knot, and stayed there.
Because it never slows down. Like it is edited to where it's like it knows it's long. It ain't trying to waste your time, so it goes from one event to the next, to the next, to the next.
Okay, let's just get right down to it. The controversy with this film is that it's in Egypt, and they have for the most part, no real ethnic actors or people of color playing the major roles. In fact, they took a bunch of white people and painted them orange and called them Egyptian.
At least they did that.
At least they did that. Even Joel Edgerton shaved his head, but they still got Christian Bale. He think he's still in Batman. He still got his Batman. He still got his Bruce Wayne hair.
I know.
He got that Batman beard from the third Batman movie.
That kind of scruffy mustache. It's kind of a goatee, but never quite connecting.
But yeah, this is some bullshit what they do with the casting here. And let me explain what I mean by this. Now, you got a bunch of actors in here. We saw two of them, Joel Edgerton. We have Christian Bale. Also, we have what's her name? I keep wanting to call her Ripley, but
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver's in this.
It's funny because with the others, I was like, well, these guys are white, but they've actually especially Joel Edgerton, they're really throwing themselves into these roles to not be who they are. Yeah. When Sigourney Weaver pops up, I was like, okay, that doesn't help.
Sigourney Weaver, she's about as white as you can get. Hi, everybody. She just comes to the room, Hey, Moses, you kids break it up, I would have been cool if they had just cast just a bunch of white people or, people who are kind of off-white, just a little bit, because that's what they do for a lot of this movie. They even have some, like you say, Greek people in here, Turkish-looking people. But my problem with this is that and this is not an exaggeration, every fucking dark-skinned black person in this movie is fucking furniture. You see the main leads in the movie, Sigourney Weaver, John Turturro, Christian Bale, and Joel Edgerton in the background. They got these Negroes just standing there. What you see them doing in this picture is what they do in the fucking movie. They just stand there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They might bring a tray. Don't say nothing. Just set the tray down. Nod. Or when somebody walks through a door and a white person comes in and out the door, they might shake that spear a little bit. But that's about as much as they had to fucking do in this movie. As a person of color, I am sick and tired of seeing these things in 2014 where black people are not only in the background. I can deal with the background shit, but when you put them in subservient roles looking like this, there's no fucking way I would have ever gone on a casting call for this. And I told you, Martin, I said I would. I mean, I'm going to keep my kids from watching this, but I would feel really uncomfortable watching this with my children if I was. And I'd have to explain to them, don't let this affect your image of yourself. You're not fucking background. This movie's wrong for what they're doing. And I think that's true bullshit. That's one of the things I hold Ridley Scott on right there. Cast the movie, I get it. It's a business thing, but don't do this shit. That's a conscious thing to sit up there and cast these black people as background right there.
You bring up that picture, you call my memory back. I'd say you're absolutely right.
Okay, all right.
You didn't expect that, did you?
Man, you just totally fooled. I had a whole bunch of notes right here waiting for you to say some shit.
No.
If Martin says it, you counter with that.
I mean, I'll say this, that the movie it's spectacle. And it's such a spectacle that I'm looking at it for that. And everything you're saying, it was going by so fast that I didn't really at least I didn't stop to, there was a black overseer just there whipping somebody. Whipping a bunch of white people.
He didn't have no lines. Let me just, and he couldn't, they couldn't even give him a line like, they could at least have him say, get your ass back in there or something. There was even a scene where they had two assassins come up. One is light-skinned. Of course, since they're assassins, they kind of Greek or Turkish looking, and then he comes in with a black, dude, black as my shirt. And guess who gets to talk? It's the Greek guy. They're like, Moses, we have come to kill you. And he looks at the black guy just like, it's like, man, for those of you who don't understand, you're probably in a position where they get to see themselves portrayed in leading roles and prominently displayed on screen and in media all the time. Mm-hmm. I just ask that I ask kindly and respectfully that you step back and you imagine what it's like to be in our position where we have to see something like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good, man. And by the way, the end of the film, I think is terribly edited. Terribly edited. At the end of the film, Ramses is chasing, you know the story, Ramses is chasing Moses and his people, and they're fucking teleporting all over the place. I know what they said. They said, yeah, they're 4 days behind, but the people who are on foot are somehow keeping up with the people on horses.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of the sea, and all of a sudden they're on the beach. It's like, what the fuck? Are y'all flying and shit?
They do have that Deus Ex Machina,
Yeah, they go all out this way to make this shit seem like, oh, God's making this shit seem believable, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, but I got to get these motherfuckers over here because the movie's gonna be done. Shit, God just got them to start kicking people over the move. Shit, damn, shit. God got even tired of watching this movie. Yeah, I'm gonna edit this shit myself. Snip, 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 snip. You're there. I don't think it deserves to be seen technically on the big screen unless you see it in that IMAX or something like that. But I can't, in good consciousness, because of the casting, give this anything past a rental.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I didn't have. I agree with your issues with the casting. It just didn't emotionally affect me in the same way. The big spectacle on a giant screen, which is the best place to see it so you can be wowed by it, is enough for me to give it a low matinee.
I'm so glad that you and I ain't on the plantation together, because Martin would have been the first. I would have been trying to leave. All right, Martin, you don't want to go, but cover for me, all right? All right, so I'll come. Master, there you go! I likes this master here. There it goes.
So, and you think this movie is racially insulting? Yeah, you say that to me.
Yeah, because it's true. Hey, even Christian Bale's mad at your ass. Look at him. No, Martin, no, goddammit. This movie's bullshit.